Okay, folks, good evening. It is, what is today? Today is Monday. It's the 10th of August, and I'm coming to you from the 3-mile camping grounds, spot number 14. I'm 3 miles outside of the east entrance into Yellowstone. Got here yesterday morning, got my camp set up and everything, and spent yesterday running around Yellowstone National Park. Well, driving around, did a lot of walking. Also, I'll go over some of the things that I saw yesterday in a few minutes, and then I was gone almost until dark. It's about a 2-hour drive from here to the fishing bridge, which is where the first little general store is at, and they've got a little gas station there. It's 24-hour fill up with a credit card, and from there you go down and you can hang a left or a right, and depending on what your schedule is for the day, it's a big circle. It's a big circle. So my plan yesterday was to head to the fishing bridge and stop there and kind of do a little sightseeing, a lot of picture taking. And the drive in from Cody to Yellowstone National Park was a beautiful drive. Beautiful drive. It reminded me a lot of Colorado. But I thought it was really pretty until I actually entered the entrance gate of Yellowstone and started driving around some of the roads and the curves and up some of the overlooks and stuff inside the park. After I stopped at the fishing bridge, shopped around there for a little while, got something to drink, and kind of scoped things out. I headed south through Lake Village and Bridge Bay and headed on down to West Thumb. This route takes me basically along the western edge of the Yellowstone Lake, and that's lake I talked about in a previous video. Its surface elevation is 7,733 feet and the maximum depth is 410 feet. It was a pretty drive down through there. However, about halfway down through there was a stoppage of traffic for probably 45 minutes to an hour. Seems like there had been a head-on collision on the road. It kind of shut traffic down both ways, and never did hear if anybody was injured or anything, but did see one vehicle that was pulled out of there. There was a pickup truck. Front end was just totally demolished, and once traffic got going, they were letting one side go for a while, and then they would stop, and then the other side would go for a while. When I got up to where the wreck had happened, there was a big dually pickup truck there that just had a banged up rear end, a right rear quarter panel that just dented a little bit. So I guess that was the other vehicle involved in the wreck. Well, once we got clear from that, I went on down to West Thumb and saw some neat stuff down in West Thumb. Let's see. West Thumb has it included mud pots, boiling springs, and geysers that discharge into the chilly waters of Yellowstone Lake. They also have a Grant Village Visitor Center where you can learn about the place, but just about all the visitor centers and museums are closed, I found out. So I took a lot of pictures at West Thumb. I think I took a couple of videos of some of the hot springs and stuff, boiling springs. And then after that, I drove on over to Old Faithful. And I know I'm pretty sure we've all seen videos of Old Faithful, but this was my first time ever having seen it in person. When I got there, by the time I found a parking spot, everybody was leaving. So I must have just missed it. So I shopped around, took some pictures, found a good vantage point where I could be there for the next Old Faithful eruption. And when it came about about 45 minutes since the last one. I went over and sat down and got my camera set up and got it on a tripod so I could videotape with that and also with my cell phone. And I'd been sitting there for just a couple of minutes, and Old Faithful decided she wanted to erupt. So sure enough, she started erupting. It lasted probably maybe a minute, and that might be stretching it. I've been heard that it averages from a short time to a pretty good one. And I guess that was that's the hand we were dealt. So that was late in the afternoon, and after Old Faithful erupted, or whatever you want to call it, erupted, activated, I decided it was getting almost 6 o'clock, getting close to dark, so I headed on back to camp. 2-hour drive back. Of course, you're stopping to take pictures, and because you go out in the morning and it's lights coming one way, and you go back in the same route in the evening, lights coming in another direction. And it's like different pictures, different scenery and stuff. So I had to take probably a lot of the same pictures that I took in the morning. I took them in the evening on the way back. So by the time I got back to the campsite here, it was dark. So, and I was tired. So I brushed my teeth and everything and hunkered down in the Jeep. And during the night, oh man, did I sleep. I mean, it's just, nobody had to rock me to sleep, that's for sure. So during the night, it got a little chilly in the Jeep. I have a little thermometer that I hang from a hook in there. And I checked it this morning when I got up at 7 o'clock. The temperature inside the Jeep was about 62, 63 degrees. I went ahead and got dressed, got out, set the thermometer out on the camping table in the campsite here. And within just about 15 minutes, it was below 35 degrees. So it's somewhere between 30 and 35 degrees. It's a small thermometer, so it's a best guess. It's marked in increments of 5. So it was between 30 and 35. So that was cold. I put on some gloves. I put on a hat, made me a couple of cups of coffee, had me some bacon and scrambled eggs, and got dressed. And after I brushed my teeth, of course, got dressed, packed up all the stuff in the Jeep, and I headed back into Yellowstone. Today I went a different route. Stopped at a couple places this morning that I haven't stopped at yesterday, and one was an overlook that overlooked the lake and surrounding areas. And when I got to the Fisherman's Bridge, I turned and went north instead of south like I did yesterday. I wanted to go to Lamar Valley, but the road that leads from just a little bit north of Fisherman's Bridge in Canyon Village, there's a road that goes up to Tower Roosevelt, and then you go east to Lamar Valley, where a lot of the wolves, bison, bears, and elk and moose and things are at. But that road from Canyon Village to Tower Roosevelt was closed. Now there was still a way to get to Lamar Valley. I just had to make probably a 75-mile detour and go the long way. So I decided I'll just save Lamar Valley to my next trip. Notice I said my next trip. Don't know when it'll be, but this place is worth coming back to see. So I stopped at Canyon Village, had lunch there, did a little sightseeing, and en route to Canyon Village, we drove through Hayden Valley, and that's where the bison were at. There were bison herds off to the sides of the road. There was bison that was walking alongside of the road, and I was able to get some video of him. I had to hold my hand up through the sunroof of the Jeep to kind of catch it because I got a late start on it. So I got to see that, and then I went on up to Canyon Village, like I said, and did some sightseeing, had some lunch, and then I headed west and went to Norris. I wanted to see the Norris Geyser Basin. That's let's see what it says about the Norris Geyser. The Norris, where is it at? Here we go. The Norris Geyser Basin is the park's hottest, most dynamic geyser basin. It includes Steamboat, the world's tallest geyser, the nearby museum, which was closed, and the National Park Ranger showcase that showcases the history of the iconic public servants of the park rangers. It was also closed. So walked around the Norris Geyser Basin over there. That was really beautiful. And spent some time there. Took a whole lot of pictures with my cell phone, a whole lot of pictures with my Canon, and just took it all in. I mean, it's all you can do to just walk around there, and there's really no words to describe it. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has the golden tongue that can sit down and just put it into words, but I'm not that person. It was just overwhelming. It was just overwhelming that this is our national park, and you know we can come here. It was gorgeous. So I finished with Norris Geyser Basin. I thought, well, let me go on down and I'll see the Grand Prismatic, which is the great big hot springs that's all the blues and the oranges and the greens that is just huge. But I decided I would wait and do that tomorrow. So I left the Norris Geyser Basin, went back to Canyon Village and turned south, went back to Fishing Bridge, stopped, got me a sandwich and chips and stuff to have for dinner when I got back to the campsite. Got back to the campsite and ate lunch and started getting settled in for the evening. And I've already got my sweats on, just had to put on my sweatshirt and lock things up. And it's about 10 minutes after 8, probably got about 45 more minutes of sunlight left. So I'm just going to fiddle around and just kind of take in the sights as the sun goes down. And you know, tomorrow my plans are to get up about 7 o'clock, have some breakfast, some coffee, load the Jeep back up, get in the driver's seat, crank it up, put it in drive, and take off back to Yellowstone National Park for my last full day. Like I said, 3 miles from the east side entrance. I'll head back in, probably stop at the Fishing Bridge and get a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to head south to West Thumb, which I talked about yesterday. Then I'm going to go turn and go west toward Old Faithful, and then the big geyser that I was telling you about, the Grand Prismatic, is just a little bit past Old Faithful. So, you know, after I see the Grand Prismatic, I think that's the way you pronounce it, I may come back by and get another shot at Old Faithful. So, and then get back here tomorrow evening and take down my canopy over here, make sure I've got everything set up in the Jeep, and come Wednesday morning I will get up, have some breakfast, a couple cups of coffee, and load up the Jeep, and I will head back into Yellowstone via the east entrance. Once again, probably stop at the Fisherman's Bridge, get one last cup of coffee in Yellowstone, and then I'll head south and exit the Yellowstone National Park, and shortly thereafter be in the Grand Tetons National Park. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. You can see some of the mountain peaks as you look over the Yellowstone Lake from the north of the Grand Tetons. So now you kind of caught up. I've tried uploading a couple of videos that I have from Mount Rushmore and from Crazy Horse Memorial, but for some reason either the internet speed here when you're in an area that has some internet is so slow that it just won't do it. But I promise you folks, I will get these things uploaded at some point. We'll have to make sure we got a good video or a good internet signal then and be able to get these things uploaded. So I'm having a ball, feeling good. I probably need a shower. Just had to peel my socks off of me. So I think it's time to probably middle of the week, maybe after the Grand Tetons, depending on what they have in that area, maybe find some place to take a shower, either truck stop or maybe even get a motel room and stay in it for one night. But I was kind of really hoping to make it without having to stay in a motel. But you know, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do things a different way. You got to be semper gumby. That's as everybody knows that the Marine Corps motto is Semper Fi, which is always faithful. Well, my new motto is Semper Gumby. That means always flexible. So that's about it from 3 Mile Campground, east of Yellowstone National Park. Don't know what's going on in the world. Haven't listened to much news, but I'm sure not a whole lot has changed. Washington and politicians are probably still being Washington and politicians, talking a lot and getting nothing done. Well, come November, we'll all have a chance to vote. So please, I encourage you, I implore you, get out and vote. Vote your conscience. Because the way my dad taught me was, if you don't vote, you have no right to really say much about how the politicians do things up there. So vote, and then you can talk and speak your mind. Alrighty, folks, hope everybody's doing good. Like I said, I'm doing fine, and we'll catch you guys later. Alrighty, adios.